I'm guessing more reading. Archsage of Imperium has taken me into his confidence once more, though I did not know why. Were I to appease my skills, honestly, I have only a tolerable competency and interest in gemcraft and alchemy. I found some small enjoyment in the arts of creating and dispelling wards. There's only one application of the craft that I truly find myself attracted to and master of, battle magic. At first, it was no small shame of mine that, unlike the scholastic brethren I trained with for the majority of my life, I did not wish to live my life always in the library. My father, for what little I recall of him, lived part of his life as a warrior, and I suppose that blood was passed down to me. But still, what use would I be as an apprentice to the Archsage of our order? Should that rank not go to a better rounded student of magic? I know little of the Archsage's duties, indeed. I believe it was my inquiries regarding this ignorance that first brought myself to Archsage Ephraim's attention. But should they not act as custodian to the whole business of the order and not merely one part of it? There are many better candidates amongst my peers, who, upon noticing Archsage Ephraim's increased attention to myself, have made similar claims, in less polite terms, to be fostered by one as the Archsage. I do not wish a chain of ink and parchment on myself. As long as magic changes, there will always be battles to be fought with it. I mean, I kind of agree with that.
Persistent, aren't you? From ruins to mountaintops, even in the mind of your pathetic arch-sage, who, despite you standing here, has given up hope. In fact, right now he is trying to tell you it is useless to fight Ciara Sedanis.
Must be his indifference. How are you manipulating him?
In all the minds I have seen, there have been none that carried such indifference as this arch-sage. Does he care about the wars that wage across his land? No. Does he care for the lives of his subordinates? Not in the slightest. He long ago surrendered to the inevitability of my return.
You are serious, Sedanis?
Yes. I am the tyrant queen of the Dark Empyrean. The fools of the Scholia Arcana believe I was killed, but the Arch-Sage knows the truth. It is, perhaps, why he has surrendered all hope. He knows I cannot be defeated, only delayed.
We'll see about that. Time to die, witch. You know how this will end.
I do, as does this arch-sage. Look at this man. He is a pawn of fate, completely surrendered to it. He has hidden this apathy from the world, but now, let it be seen. The demons of this man's mind are yours to contend with, child.
Oh, you get me. These are so fast. That's better. Down difference is joining the fight. Talent key. The world I left. And if she thought that leaving those flowers pressed in the tomb would work, she was right. By the gods, I thought that years of books and tutelage and learning would be enough to prepare me for anything, for the world of troubles and problems that I might eventually have to solve, and they did not. Nothing could have prepared me for her, sitting on a hill and waiting for me as the sun came down. the wind teasing out the red-brown hair that flowed from wine and water, so long for it had never touched a blade in its life. She laughed, and it smelled like apples smell. She smiled, and it sounded like birds in spring. I only came to test her aptitude to spellcraft, and in those scant seconds before we spoke to one another, I nearly fell so far into her eyes that I could not hope to escape. How could a force as strong as this exist? Am I just a fool in the line of fools that span the centuries? Disarmed though I was, I carried out my duly appointed tasks. She laughed and told me that she had no desire to lead a life of craft and books and study, to forsake life as it is lived for life as it might be. And looking into my eyes, I could not come to find her at fault. There is a world out there that is different from one that we of the Schoolia lead. I walked away from that world some time ago, and only once when I met her have I ever had cause to regret that decision. Okay. So the bro, kind of fell wholeheartedly for something. I get that. If he lost it, that would be why he's indifferent, especially to a school that chains him. Can see some need for indifference there. The human's talent. Professor Willian was sore at me today because my potion was able to cure the Acrocs of clover bloat, and Valon's wasn't. She said I had relied too much on luck to ensure my balances were correct and that Valon's regions had wilted in the summer heat, but I know the real reason she's mad is because her prize student isn't as good as the human. The Alfar seem to have wielded magic since always, and humans have had to make do otherwise. But every day I feel stronger and stronger. The Alfar know I'm not the only human that can use magic to this degree, and they know it. They know I'm not the only, and they know it. That's a weird sentence. They are afraid that they're going to lose the only thing that kept them from lording over us for decades, and Professor Norman thinks that I'm the face of the coming change. She's afraid of me. She should be. When I was less than 2 and 5, I burned my family's woodshed to the ground with a thought. Some of her students had to train for years before they could make as much as a cinder, and even though I'm good at it, I'm not going to spend my life studying potion craft and writing tomes. The heat from that fire still warms my hands. It's a comfort, the only one I still have left. That was a little creepier than the others. I love these handcrafted areas, like everything in this game. It's very well crafted. Oh god, there's 3 of them.
And so my attempts to foster his indifference seem to have met their end. It does not matter. I have accomplished all I would have liked to. My freedom is guaranteed, so I can focus my attentions on you. You are my closest friend, after all. You served your purpose well.
What have you done to his mind?
This body is the incarnation of the Archsage's goals and ideals. For all his aspirations, the man is a slave to his discipline. It is a pity. Had I the time to foster some of these ambitions, he would make a useful pawn, just like you.
What do you mean by my purpose?
Do you not understand, child? It was your initiation that freed me. The magic of the spell could not find your potential, and so it chose the greatest power this world has ever known.
Enough this time, die. Leave the Archsage's mind.
Yes, it is a tawdry thing, after all. But his goals and ideas are too delicious to leave alone. And all around us you can see the parts of himself he sacrificed, just to reach this pathetic level of power. Let us reawaken some of these cast-offs. I think they might enjoy it. You will know my
Sacrifice ambition. Another sacrifice. Stormblade. I bet you that thing looks sweet, bro. Take a look at that. Look how this one's glowing, but I can't do anything with it. Oh well. Hopefully, last reading. Mommy isn't crying. The funny men with pointed ears are taking me, and Mommy isn't crying, but she looks like she will... Isn't she sad? Why isn't she being sad? She might be mad at me still for what I did to the woodshed, but it wasn't my fault. I didn't mean to. I just got so scared when that dog got near me that I threw my hands up, and then there was fire and heat, and the woodshed was on fire, and I didn't know. I didn't want to make it, but the dog caught fire too, and I couldn't stop it, and I couldn't stare and watch as everything started to burn around me, and I was so sorry. I was so sorry. But it wasn't enough. Daddy found me and hit me hard once in the eye and once in the back, and I told him, I said, Daddy, I didn't mean to, and he did it anyways. I was so sorry, and he kept hitting me until I stopped crying, but Mommy just stood there, and she was crying, but it was quiet, and it was to herself, and it's like watching her now. As they're taking me away, they have me by the hand, and they're leading me away, and no one's saying goodbye, and no one's saying I'll miss you, and no one's saying they love me. I'm put in the care of strangers, and I'm going away forever to learn how I made things burn, and I'm sorry, Mommy, and I'm so very sorry. That was difficult. Kids, this is why spacing and punctuation is important, because that makes things super difficult to read. I had to jump. Still can't touch that. Okay. We're out of here.
I no longer feel the prying of Sardanis on my mind. You have freed me of her. Thank you, Adept. By freeing me of her influence, I can distill for you those thoughts you have liberated. From my ambition, I can impart to you an indomitable resolve. From my indifference, I can craft a fearless impartiality. The choice is yours.
How can you give this gift?
I am the Archsage, but I am also a human. There were certain flaws of character that I had repressed. Sardanis intensified those flaws until they threatened to overcome me. By destroying them, you freed me of these flaws. I can give you the knowledge of this freedom.
Okay. What are the options again?
From my indifference, I can impart to you a sense of fearlessness. Through ambition, you can gain a will to strive for perfection. In many ways, they seem similar, but to you, The effects are disparate.
Fearlessness or discipline? No, let's have some fun. Let's go fearlessness. Oh, that sucks. Oh, the other one's probably like resistance.
A quality you certainly do not lack. But I think you will require every last ounce of our metal to see this through to the end. Now, are you prepared to leave? We have much ahead of us when we return to my quarters.
Send me back.
Good. When we return, speak with me. The sorceress will not be suffered any longer.
I mean, I'll use sorcerer abilities, but the elemental damage works in my favor because both of my weapons have elemental damage. Wait, that's not true. My Fey blades have poison, but my chakrams have fire. But I need to do a quick run, chat. I will be right back. Well, sorry about that, chat. I'm back. Oh, let's go figure out where this sage guy is. Let's see, we went from... I don't remember what the base was, but then we went to Docient to Adept. Wonder if we'll get Savant now. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be okay with that. What if this is like Skyrim and you can become the ultimate guy? That would kind of suck though. I kind of like this archmage. He's at least humble-ish. Where is this dude? Someone to sell to. Hold on.
I've been providing goods to the Order for over a decade. What's
Shoot up and let me shop.
your interest? I'll be around if you need.
I want to see what this looks like. Just sounds like it'd be cool. That is pretty dope. Yeah, it's a longsword. And it's definitely a nice sword. It looks very cool. If I was a sword wielder in this game, that would definitely be it. I can't even add it to junk. Oh, it's because never mind, it's attached. I'm done.
I've been providing goods to the Order for I'll be around if you need me.
Later, dude. Let's go find the Archsage. See, I figured he'd be in his chambers. Or at least in the main hall here. I guess he's in the courtyard, maybe? Archie Western, Christopher Gallows, and...
Good day.
Never mind. Yep, he's in the courtyard. He just sits on the ground in the middle of the courtyard. See? Savant's ring.
I am sure you have questions, and I shall do my best to answer them. First, let me say this. No
Thank you.
adept in the history of the Scholia Arcana has earned the Savant's ring more than you. Take it with my gratitude. Now prepare yourself. The time for suffering the predations of our enemy is at an end. It is our turn to strike.
Okay. What can you tell me about poor Egan Engar?
Savant Ingar was a dear friend and one of the Scholia Arcana's most powerful assets. His loss will be felt by all within the Order.
Okay. What about Sedanis' power?
There is little else we can do but summon her. It might seem foolish, but if we do not try here, we will surely fail later.
What about the School Arcana?
Dark times are upon us, Savant. The tragedies recently befallen our most powerful members speaks to a greater conspiracy at work. I should have acted sooner. I should have seen what was coming. I promise you this. I will do what is necessary to keep the Order from being destroyed, whatever the cost.
Okay. What is it that you propose?
It is time for you to learn the truth of our Order. The truth of Sierra Sedanus and the fall of the Dark Empyrean. Sierra Sedanus was never killed, Savant. She was imprisoned within the very stones of Rithia.
Got that
Because
much?
of you, she has awakened, and though trapped, she has proven formidable. Now to destroy her, we must release her.
Why is it my fault?
When Ethan Engar cast the ritual for your initiation trial, he created a magic whose purpose was to conjure that which could challenge your potential. None could have anticipated that. To do so, the magic of the ritual would actually find Sedanus buried deep within her prison. The smallest part of her consciousness was summoned into your trial. Once awakened, she began using the minds of those involved to craft her escape.
Who else knows the truth?
The truth of the Scholia Arcana's founding, its true purpose, is a secret that has been passed down from Archsage to Archsage. We have many savants within our order, those supremely gifted in the arts of alchemy or sagecrafting or scholarship. But there is a reason that Archsages are chosen according to their mastery of war magic, because one day Sedanus will return, and one must be prepared to face her.
Tell me what to do.
Since her awakening, Sedanus has been reaching out from her prison and possessing mages within our order. Her goal was the creation of 3 elemental keys: the sun, storm, and frost stones that you hold now. We will use these keys exactly as Sedanus intended. We will free her, and I will kill her.
Will you, though? Very well, let's do it.
The brilliant Savaladan Bloodgood led the founders to build the very grounds of the Scholia Arcana into a spell, the glyph that imprisons Sedanus. Let the magic guide you. Walk the grounds and place each key with the appropriate founder, and the spell will be undone. When Sedanus is free, join me at the center of the glyph. She will emerge, and I shall make my stand. Good luck.
Okay. Well, I mean, we know where fire goes. Oh, okay, so I guess he's this one.
The prison is weakening. Only one more key remains. I can feel the harmonies of the spell glyph unraveling. She is coming. Why does she not reveal us? No. Be ready. Stay back. It's you must. Ah!
For so long, I have anticipated this moment. To savor the sweet taste of freedom, and to destroy the legacy of those that imprisoned me. And I owe it all to you. From the beginning, you've played your part with a bright perfection. Each step in harmony with my will. Fool. So much potential. It is a pity I have to kill you now.
What did you do to the Archsage?
Archsage. What silly titles you children use. That wretch would have been a servant in the Dark Empyrean. But rest assured, he is safe now. deep within the very same spell that bound me, and he will rot there for all eternity.
Must this end with bloodshed?
Of course it must. I've spent the last 7 centuries locked within a prison spell, forged from these very stones. I cannot step backward in time and visit my vengeance on those who put me here, but I can destroy their legacy. The Scholia Arcana will not survive the hour. You are...
Guess you have to die. Which... Students. Okay, we're gonna have to go. Badass. Focus on your students right here. Go do someone else.